Hello live coders. This is an introduction to WordLib. I don't think I've really done a WordLib video before, but one thing I have in mind is those of you who did the mega bundle, and I did too, but I know there was at least one hiccup with the mega bundle in terms of people getting their emails with the registration information, that sort of thing. That'll help with you guys, and of course I'm not forgetting everyone who's not mega bundled as well. This video will teach how to get started, how to use your registration code, and getting a little bit into the intermediate or advanced features. Now I do want to say it's not a substitute for the user guide, because a user guide has a whole lot of information in a very organized format, whereas this video will be a little more interactive in a way. I'm going to take advantage of that. I am going to intentionally make a few mistakes just to help you deal with FAQ sort of thing. That's about it. Let's get right into it. So let's set up WordLib and deal with some documents. First we need to just make a stack. Just standard LiveCode procedure. Give it a name. And I'm going to also give it a size while I'm at it. Just a handy size to fit in the recording area here. There we go. Now we need a field to display our documents that we import. So I'm just dragging in a field. And I'll give it a simple name. We also need a button so that we can click to import. That's really all we need to get started. So let's get some code going with it. And the essence here can really be a one-liner. Import document to field and the name of our field. Short and sweet. Is it too short and sweet? Let's try it and see. So we click the button. Oh, dude, an error. Now that's because we didn't load the library. So let's look at how to do that. First, let's save the stack. And then, let me time out for just a moment to discuss what the heck is a library. Well, it's even in the LiveCode dictionary. It's simply a stack with code that you can load for other stacks to use. And since that's such a fundamental LiveCode technology that's been there since the very start, I decided to use that for my products and to keep that transparent for my users so that you're in control of what's loaded in your stack and when. That's the most powerful. That keeps you in control, and once you get used to it, you can use those techniques in your work too. And now I'm going to pull out the really big tool, the Try WordLib stack. Now that's really the place to get started when you're getting into WordLib, because it's really got everything. It's got the code you can look at. It can install the library into your stacks, and it has all the help right there. It's got the user guide and the quick reference. And furthermore, I should mention that right now, if we just went back to our stack and click that button, it'll work. Because when we got the try WordLib stack open, the library is loaded. So, we could just go back to work, and that's a great way when you're getting started. But since this is a how-to video, I'll go ahead and continue with how to actually install the library. And let's look at the code for loading the library. You can see the options we have there. Just slight variation for the situation. And what we're going to do is install the library as a substack. And that's just a really easy way when you're getting started. So I select our stack, get that sucker installed there. It gives us a script that we can post. I'm going to instead go back to the quick reference just so we can see that again and just copy it by hand. And the way LiveCode works, the one we need is that one with just the name of the stack and not the extension when we've got it installed and embedded. And I suggest that you close LiveCode at this point and get a fresh start after installing. So we load the stack up again. And let's edit the code of that button to add that line for loading the library. Start using WordLib. So let's save the stack again and click that button. Alright, it allows us to select a document. That's just the same like the user would do. Document selected, and there it is. At this point, we have a working stack. But I'm going to show you one thing. Do you see how that image flashes there? And also the title is a bit cramped. That is because of a field setting, fixed line height. That cramps LiveCode style on the field. Just doesn't let it show the height of each line, so when we turn that off, it's all good. Alright, and this will allow your user to load any document they want, so let's try another one. Little Red Riding Hood. And we get that too, so we can confirm that it is working. And at this point, you could, grab some coffee and give yourself a pat on the back because you've got the basics going. Stick with me for more ways to take the fight to the documents, such as how to use that registration code you got after purchasing. Alright, let's cover that topic too. So, the shock and awe comes in when you see the little nag in yellow there still appearing at the top of your documents and you wonder, man, how do I get rid of that thing? So, if you have the code from your email, edit your button again, and right after you start using the library, insert that register WordLib line of code, and where I type my code, put your actual code. Then, when you load things, you're going to have a beautiful feeling because that little nag will be gone among other things. You also get access to a few extra features. So, let's save again. And you use the register WordLib command in each of your projects. It may be a little bit different from the way some other products work, but that way you're in charge of your stacks and your code. I don't mess with it. So I feel that that's the best way to keep you in charge and let you have the best experience. Alright, so on to the next topic. And this one is called bundling. Bundling? Yep. It's something that you need if you decide that not only you want your users to load documents, but maybe you have something that you want to present when the stack is open. Not Little Red Riding Hood, but something equally inspiring. So you want to show it right away. So you save your stack after you import it, and then the next time when you open it again, you're like, whoa, dude, what happened? The image is gone. And that's just the way the data works, because the images are stored in a temporary place. And so let's open the mighty try WordLib stack again to get at the documentation. And let's look for something useful. Now we can import a specified document this way. So let's copy this line. This way, instead of letting the user choose the document, we choose it. In the card script, I'm going to call this show intro, and we set the HTML text of our field to the HTML text of document, and our document about Little Red Riding Hood. And you guys keep me on my toes now. Make sure I do everything right. Let's try this and see if it works. Save it. And I'm going to type in my show intro in the message box just to try it, since we're not actually restarting the app to try. Oh man, an error? What on earth? What's that you say? Yep, you noticed that when I did it, right? That I, instead of a path, I just put the name of the file. And the way LiveCode works, if we're specifying which file it is, the name is not enough. It needs a path, like where is it on the computer? And special folder path is one way to do that, because paths can vary on everyone's computer, different paths. That lets us have a standard that every user will be the same if we specify a special folder path, such as documents. But you also have to make sure that that's where the document is located on the user's computer after an install, for example. So another way we could do that is we could store the document in the same folder that this current stack is running in. To do that, we would take another approach. We have to start out with the file name, or the path, of this particular stack we're running. And then, using the slashes that designate the file path, we insert the name of the file into the last item. And I like this method. It's a good method, but did you notice blah blah blah? It's kind of a lot of code, isn't it? Just to do a little simple thing of opening a document in the same folder. So why don't we look at all that stuff? It's just, let's look for a shortcut. If we go back to our trusty try WordLib documentation here, there is something there for us. If we go down to bundled documents, we have a way of doing just that. Shorter, sweeter, better. Well, at least shorter and sweeter. So instead of all this code, here's a command that does the exact same thing. Import bundle document, our file, the name of our field, and the super secret silent option to handle any error messages yourself rather than show them automatically to the user, since it's an intro. So another thing, not only it's shorter, but also this command helps when you get to mobile development. Makes it easier to locate your files. Show intro again, Woohoo! It worked. So now we've got a solid show intro handler to show a bundle document. I'm in the habit of saving, people. I save all the time. Alright. Now what let's do is take our show intro handler and put it in our pre-open card, or it could be pre-open stack, to show that thing to people when the app first starts up. After which, let's save yet again, close, and do just that. Start the app up, see what happens, and you guys keep me on my toes now. Make sure I do everything right. Oh no! What's that? Yep, you're absolutely right. Since we moved towards showing a document at the very beginning, we were lacking some code there, and this all resulted because we put our code for loading the library in that button, which is what a lot of people do, and it's really great for quick tests, in-house tools and stuff. But for the real deal, it's better in your card script, and if you're going to load something when you start up, that's essential. So let's delete everything, Granny the Wolf, the whole shebang, save again, and restart LiveCode to see if this will really work now. We should see it instantly, and indeed we do. Let's see if the image is there. There it is. Okay, so it's really importing, going through the whole document from the file, importing it when we start up. Just the same way as it imports when a user selects, actually. Here's another document. And now I want to give you one more option. What if you don't want to do the whole import? What if you're afraid, the user, for whatever reason, the installation and stuff, maybe on the first run of your product, you just want to make absolutely sure that your app doesn't have to find any files, but instead actually store the data from your field inside your app. So here's how to do it. And again, we want to preserve the images. So there's a command to help us with that. Save bundle document. The first thing we want to do is import the desired file. Let's do Riding Hood again. And now we're going to use the message box to get this done. Save bundle document, our field, and the name of the property we want to save this to in our stack. That name will be important. And this is also important. It gives us feedback that it's been saved with one image. So when you see that, you know that you got it. Alright. Now we need to give it a test. And to do that, we need one more line of code. This is the complement. We did the first part in the message box. The second part goes in our card script, because the message box was a one-time thing to save it. You only do that once. This is the code to put in your stack. We set the HTML text of our field to, now you tell me if I do anything wrong now. Keep an eye on me. Let's test it out. Whoa, that was kind of funny. Alright, our test failed. And did you catch what I did wrong? Yeah, that was a stack property, and instead of just the name, we need to say the name of this stack, the whatever property of this stack. Alright, it's looking good, the image is there. Now it's time for a real heavy-duty test. That's how our code looks. And this way we're not importing the document on the fly. we've saved it ahead of time. I'm going to delete the content and save it. Close everything out so we can start fresh and see what happens. Let's get that stack pulled up. Ta-da! It's loaded it from the data saved in the stack. The image is there. So it looks like we're all clear. And when you use that saved bundled document, it is saved to a stack property. You can see it right there. The data is all saved there. There's even a command to delete it, if you decide to change back to the other method. But not right now. I'm going to end this video. It's getting pretty long for a video. And besides, I want to emphasize here in my closing statement, read that user guide manual, because a manual like that, it is friendly, it is thorough, and it contains more than I can stick into this video. I hope this helped and was enjoyable, and I'll see you in the near future on other videos.